The deep state against the maker state. The controversy between Donald Trump and Elon Musk shows a very deep divide in our society. And I think this is actually the real problem in politics. It's not between Republicans and Democrats at all. It's not between the aisles. It's between the people who create and the people who don't want to create or consider themselves part of the deep state, consider themselves privileged to ride on the fruits of other people's work, whether it's politicians, whether it's bankers, whether it's academics, whether it's military people. There's a rising blob of people who seem to, just by sheer privilege or sometimes maybe academic achievement or whatever they think gives them the privilege to just be in a situation where they can spend other people's money or receive other people's money or receive money that is not meant for them, whether it's NGOs, whether you name it. Like all of these problems that we identified in the last 6 months, particularly through Doge, and are coming now to surface in the controversy between Elon Musk and Donald Trump, all of these problems, in my opinion, can be summarized into the deep state versus the maker state. What do I mean with the deep state? What do I mean the maker state? The deep state is the blob of Washington, D.C. I throw in there the military industrial complex, the medical industrial complex, and the academic industrial complex, and if you will, also the financial industrial complex on Wall Street, which is propped up by the Federal Reserve. So this is the deep state. The maker state is everybody else, us here in Silicon Valley, people in Texas, people all over the country. There's certainly a lot of people who, what I call, they eat what they catch. They go to school, they learn something, and they expect to make money with the fruits of their labor. They don't expect to make money just by having a position or by, even worse, just having the privilege of being a senator or something like that. They actually create value either as entrepreneurs or working for entrepreneurs. This is not even on podcast. It's June 8, 2025. This is Krim Delco. For the year, we are down 23.5%. The market's up 1.5%. We're underperforming by 25%. So the controversy between Elon Musk and Donald Trump, I think, it's a good thing. Let's start with that. It's a good thing because we here at Orange Capital Partners, we've always been of the opinion that the liaison between Donald Trump and Elon Musk, it's only tolerable for us as long as Donald Trump delivers. And he had to deliver on only one metric, and that is stop the waste of money at the government, at the federal level. That's what we asked for. The reason we ask for that and nothing else is because we're of the belief, and I think when I say we, I would say most of the maker state of us who actually want to create productive value, who want to go to work, we enjoy learning and working and delivering, but we don't want to be ripped off by the deep state. We want to keep the fruits of our labor for us and our descendants. That's the fundamental idea of capitalism. Our kids should have a better life than we have, and we can only achieve that by not wasting money, by not creating huge government debt, by not mortgaging the future of our kids, all of these things. So what we asked Donald Trump and his incoming administration to do was to cut the deficit. That's simply what we ask, and he's not delivering on that, and that's being now shown in the controversy between Musk and Trump, and I think that's really what this whole controversy is about. And again, we think it's a good thing that it's coming out. First, it's always good to name the problems and tackle them from full front. That's what entrepreneurs do. That's what Musk is doing now. He came into the administration as an entrepreneur and he's leaving the administration as an entrepreneur. It's not like he changed his mind and became part of the deep state, which was, some people maybe attributed that to him. Maybe some people on the left, they thought, well, now he's just part of the Republican deep state. He's not. And he's showing that very clearly. He just wants the federal government to stop wasting money. And that's a good thing, because once you stop wasting money, all the other diseases that came with the government, whether it's the military industrial complex, the public health industrial complex, all the COVID shenanigans, the academic industrial complex, the fact that our tuitions have gone up 3x in the last 10, 15 years, all of these problems can be solved if you cut the budget deficit. I'm just talking about, I'm not even talking about austerity here. Just stop wasting. Bring in as much as you spend, or spend as much as you bring in. Let's start with that. We can talk about reduction of debt. We can talk about growth initiatives. We can talk about tax incentives. All of these things can be added to the program. But first, we have to stop wasting money. That's the fundamental problem. If we don't stop wasting money, we will just continue nurturing the blob. The blob is like a cancer, right? And the cancer is being fueled by money. And Musk said he wants to stop that. So that's the controversy. I just want to talk about a few things. First, what does this mean for Tesla? Like here at Orange Capital Partners, we are fully invested in Tesla. I mean, we have a large position. It's not our only position, but we have a large position in Tesla. And therefore, we do care about what Musk is doing, and we do care about the government, and we also do care about what happens to Tesla. So the way we see this unfold is we think that that the maker state will abandon Trump. So Trump will be left with the deep state Republican side of things. And that's not going to be enough for him to get anything done. Now, he only has one term, so it's pretty irrelevant for him personally what's going to happen. We believe that his administration will implode because with the support of the maker state, which is people like, let's say, in the administration right now, we have people like David Sachs still. We have maybe some like Hexet, those types of people who we count to the maker state in the administration. And there's all this surrounded support that he had with Elon Musk, with Mark Andreessen, with lots and lots of people in Silicon Valley who supported the Trump administration, who support all this hope, all this positive energy that came with the win of his election is evaporating now. In fact, it's going to be even a negative effect now, because what we're realizing now is what we maybe suspected but hoped it wasn't true, which is that the Republicans, the real Republicans, they couldn't care less about the maker state. They couldn't care less about progress. All they care about is their pork barrels, their advantages. Whether it's an obsolete ammunition factory in South Carolina, they want to keep dumping ammunition on the Ukraine war. Whether it's some obsolete coal mine in West Virginia, all of these things. That's what the Trump administration really cares about, for better or for worse. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it certainly doesn't help the maker state. The maker state wants a frugal government. It's not that we want no government. We just want a frugal government, a government that sees itself as a service delivery agent to the entrepreneur and the productivity part of society. Only then can we create surplus that can be also redistributed maybe to people in need and all of that. But without the maker state, without tech, and I'm paraphrasing Naval here, in the short run, tech needs the Republicans, but in the long run, the Republicans need tech. I would just switch that and say it's the country. It's not just the Republicans. The same applies to Democrats. But again, I think it's a good thing that Musk is coming out. I think it's clear now where he stands. I think it's clear now what he wants, which is a frugal state. He's not a blind Trump supporter. He's not some right-wing fanatic fascist. He wants a frugal state. He wants actually a reduction of government, and he is criticizing the president for that. He might get some pushback. We think that that's overall not going to be as material as maybe people fear. They might say things like you're not allowed to export technology into China and things like that. But that's, we live in a country where those types of things are very difficult. And I also believe that Trump is not the type of person who will actually do that. He's a laissez-faire president, so he will leave that alone. But what does it now mean for the maker state? Well, how should we position ourselves? I think the best path forward is to go with the states. The maker state number one is Texas, of course. But there's other maker states, Florida, and I would still count California into this club, because we have enough productivity, we have enough innovation here, and even though we do have a big overlay now of what I call deep state, particularly the medical industrial complex in California is very, very detrimental to the state. It's wasting a lot of money, mainly in Southern California. But nevertheless, I think there's still hope that we can actually combine ourselves with the maker state here, that we can, get these states on board and therefore have a more productive future in those, constituencies. If we can get California, Florida, and Texas to be on our side, and we already have most of the country, which is relevant, and then the other states will follow. So that's one thing. I think the next thing I want to say is that as far as the federal politics are concerned right now, I guess we're going to see an implosion of the Trump administration. What he will do with it, I don't know. I guess we will just have a lame duck 3.5 years, because without the support of the maker state, Trump is not going to be able to do anything material. He might be wasting more money, but then the bond market will not let him do that. So I think he's cornering himself into a lame duck situation, and the reason is because he's not delivering. Trump is not delivering. He has to do better. I don't care how old he is. I don't care what his skills are. He ran on a ticket. He needs to deliver. If he doesn't deliver, he's going to lose. He's going to lose the midterms. He's going to lose support. The third thing, maybe the most interesting thing, is, of course, is there room for a third party in the United States? I think there's definitely room intellectually. We all want this, but is it institutionally even possible? That's the big question. And I think, look, we have support. We definitely have support. We have support from probably 80% of people in this country want that. We want a maker state party, and maybe we should call it like that, because that's really what we want. I think 80% in all these industrial complexes that I mentioned, they're not volume-wise that big, but they have a lot of power because they have entrenched themselves in the deep state. So if we, the maker state, if we organize a party and fight them, we can actually win. Maybe we start small. We start with small seats in Parliament and or in Congress, and then we block votes. We make it more difficult for wasteful administrations to waste money, and we start from there. But there is definitely a way. Now, we as Tesla shareholders hope that Musk doesn't get involved too deep into politics, because in the end, and this is the last thing I want to say here, is what does it mean now for us Tesla shareholders? I think the most important thing for us Tesla shareholders is that the technology roadmap keeps moving forward. We need AI to work. We need unsupervised full self-driving. We need lowering our costs. So we have the cost advantage, which will, the eventual winning ticket will not be the AI. It will be the fact that we can have lower cost per mile by at least 50% of any next competitor. And then we also need Starlink and Starship and SpaceX to succeed. All of these things are going to help us Tesla shareholders in the wealth creation process. So that's what we really need. I think the resignation of, let's say, Milan Kovac on Friday from Optimus is certainly a negative. That's much more of a negative than all these political shenanigans that are going on. So we need good talent to work for Tesla. We need the technology roadmap to keep going forward. That's what we really care about, because lowering the cost per mile, lowering the cost per token, lowering the cost per X, whatever you want to put as a measurement, that's really what Tesla is all about. Like we said many times, here at Orange Capital Partners, we define a company by its cost structure, and Tesla is on the right path to lower the cost per mile and lower the cost per token, which are going to be crucial ingredients in driving the technology roadmap for Tesla. Thank you.